Thank you, and thank you. Welcome to the Calvin Dean Show, Saturday morning fantasy football roundup. And, man, we have a great show today. Got a great show. And how about the Buffalo Bills? What a great call. And also, Josh Allen. Oh, wow. I mean, he just came alive. Give it up for Josh Allen, huh? well-deserved applause for Josh. In the stands, they had these big signs saying, "Run, Forrest, run." And Forrest was X'd out, and they put Josh on it. It was kind of cool. That's definitely, when he starts running, the other team is just, it's really hard. The guy's like 6'4", 250 pounds. He's just a massive amount of man. And he's an athlete, too. He jumps. And man, did you see those throws he was making? He would throw, they were rockets. And the guy has an arm. And Baker Mayfield, hats off to Baker, coming back in that game. They made it close. And Buffalo's either a player away in defense. It's really hard, to have your best player in defense out for the season. It's just, it's tough. Look at Ramsey on Miami. He's been out, and their backfield has been terrible. It's all about certain players like Trent Williams on the 49ers last week. Schoolhouse right, schoolhouse left. That's a sweep, right or left. McCaffrey, and then they didn't have Trent Williams opening up the hole. The guy's a house. He's an all-star. He's going to the Football Hall of Fame in Ohio. He first ballot Hall of Famer. That's how good he is, guys. He's amazing. Players matter. Let's get to it. We have the Houston Texans playing against the Panthers. Oh, man. The Texans, they're okay. They're C.J. Stroud. I would start him. Now, the Panthers' defense is 10th, and the Texans is 14th. It's just the offenses of the teams are kind of off. 20th for the Texans and 27th for the Panthers. Only reason why it's 27th because they're 27th in passing. And then C.J. Stroud. I told everyone C.J. Stroud was this year coming out. I knew that C.J. Stroud was better than Young. I think he is. But I think the best, Anthony Richardson. He's a force. Man, when he was starting, he was a force. He was very surprising. Wasn't really surprising on my end because I called it. I remember I went up to my buddy Marlon and I mentioned the draft, and I said, "Yeah, Anthony Richardson." He goes, "Who's that?" I go, "Anthony Richardson? You don't know who Anthony Richardson is? He's the quarterback of Florida. Have you seen him play?" I'm telling you, guy. I told him. I said, "He's going to be great. He's going to be great in the NFL. Watch it." And he's proved it. He's been playing well. Unfortunately, he's hurt. And Gardner Minshew has taken over. That's a surprise, right? Gardner Minshew. He has all the receivers to throw to, right? Wow. Okay, so the Texans, I'd start C.J. Stroud, Collins. This might be either a defensive game, mistake-wise. Panthers coming off a bye, and then Texans are too. So the thing is that these Texans are 3-3, and the Panthers 0-6. Could this be the game that the Panthers come alive and win? Any given Sunday, that's for sure. We've seen that happen. But fantasy-wise, not too much fantasy-wise on this. Thielen, if you have Thielen, I would start Thielen. I would start CJ Stroud. You just have to. And I wouldn't start Sanders. I really wouldn't. Anyway, next game. We have the Los Angeles Rams going into Cowboys Stadium. Rams 3-4. The Cowboys 4-2. I'll tell you, Christian Pekua. Nakua Pekua. Excuse me. He's a force, and he is definitely a force. Definitely a force. Cooper Kupp too. You have to really look at those two. Think about it. It's a must. A must. Kupp and Pekua. Those two are really, really good. Very, very good. I'm high on Puka Nakua. I could say it. I mean, think about it. After a historic start, on his rookie season, Puka was a subject of much discussion in the NFL. Don't you agree? Huh? And his production was amazing. And everyone was questioning, could it be sustainable? Could it be? Should we sell high? Should we sell if we have him? If fantasy owners, should you sell it? You know what? I'm telling you something. Holding has always been the right move. It really has. I've found this out as much. Look at it. From 2020 to 2021, we all saw Matthew Stafford support two top receivers, right? Cooper Kupp is one, and Robert Woods is the other. What happens? It is funny. Woods gets hurt, okay, and he comes back, and then the Rams traded him, right? Has Woods done anything like he did when he was with Matthew Stafford? Nope. Was Cooper Kupp like this before Matthew Stafford? Nope. Time to drink coffee, guys. Ready? Love my coffee. Anyway, so, that's what I'm trying to get at is that Matthew Stafford is very underrated when it comes to quarterbacks. Very underrated. Now, I'm telling you something. Kupp has returned with his injury. And I tell you, spoiler alert, yes, Kupp is not a number one. He just isn't, He hasn't. He's getting there. He's getting there, but he's not a number one, So their combined target share is 71%, is higher than all but one team's entire wide receiver room. But the downhill side of the former fantasy starters of Tutu Atwell and Tyler Higbee, as well as running back Kyrene Williams, has been combined targets cut in half. Originally 52% of the share in Kupp's return. So, if you got Kupp and Nakua, congratulations, because, wow. Yeah. Otherwise, you want to move on from the Rams receivers because those are the only two that I would be starting. I wouldn't start any running back. I would start Matthew Stafford, that's for sure. Another person I would be starting is Calvin Ridley. He was hot off season. He was this hot name off season. But through the regular season, it's looking like a miss. But I really believe I've held on to him. I've kept him. He has been very disappointing. That's why I've moved on to Addison and Zay Flowers. There you go. But I'm keeping Ridley in my back pocket. I might even trade him if I want, maybe for a running back or something. This is the time to trade right now before Thanksgiving, guys. That's for sure. Now, We have Evan Ingram, Evan's great. I'm telling you something. He's so good. He's a tight end 6, guys. 6. And he has definitely solidified his fantasy value by a massive consistency. I mean, the consistency. What happened was with Evan before, he would have a great game and it would be just phenomenal, right? And then the next game, he wouldn't show up. It'd be, where is he? And so you have to really pay attention to his, how he's playing. And if he continues this is what everyone talked about with Evan when he was on in the New York Football Giants. Everyone was high on him. He was like supposedly supposed to be the best tight end to come out of football that year. But he's been great at times, but then at other times he's inconsistent. It's and availability too. With injuries. Yeah, he's definitely a start. Mark Andrews is a start, that's for sure. Alvin Kamara, he's a start. And then I'm telling you, Jackson Smith from the Seahawks, he's a start, guys. He's a start. I mean, you have to just realize JSN is so back, man. He is. Well, back to his college days, at least. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I love a good laugh in the morning, right? Thank you, and thank you for the applause. Oh, man. Anyway, he's just the way he's been playing. Fortunately for both Seahawks fantasy managers alike, the rookie has been much differently since early buy. The early buy that he had, he was just terrible. Only 9 of JSN's first 20 targets were downfield throws. Okay, that's 20 minus plus yards to begin the season, right? But the result of a brutal 5.2 yards per reception ranks 137th in the NFL, visibly hurting his confidence, right? In 2 games since, not only has his snaps increased, but his yards per reception metric is up to 13.9. That's like more than double. That's almost triple his put out. Guys, start JSN if you have him for Seattle. Start. Now, Decoy Smith, it's called Devontae Smith, but everyone calls him Decoy. Because, I mean, if you think about it, in 2022, imagine it's 2022, the Eagles wide receiver duo, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, pulls off a rare feat of both finishing as fantasy wideouts one, despite playing on the same team. Wonder why they went to the Super Bowl, right? It was in complete sense given balance and opportunity from the beginning of 2022 through week 2 of this year. Devontae just 6% fewer targets than Brown. Averaged less than 1 fewer fantasy point per game. Then week 3 came about. Right? Remember that? The dreaded week for Smith's managers and glorious week for the Browns. After reported sideline discussion with Jalen Hurts. Now, you saw that sideline discussion. We're just calling it a discussion. There was little tempers going down there. Brown has benefited a massive shift in both volume and production. So if you have Mr. A.J. Brown, start. But Mr. Devontae Smith. Oh, that's a tough one. I'd keep on with him. Maybe I would, use him as trade bait. But man, A.J. Brown's been getting all the targets, guys. And, Devontae, I just, sometimes that bugs me. Look at their record, Why are you complaining? Think about it. So those are, some great wideouts and knowledge for everyone to, hang their hats on. So definitely with the with the Rams and the Cowboys, I would definitely go with Nakua and Cooper Kupp, because the Cowboys, their backfield is hurting. That's where the Rams are going to win. But can Matthew Stafford get the ball out? He's fast. He's quick, and he loves sitting in a pocket. He's not. He doesn't run around. So, and he runs forward and to the side and back, but he's not big on that. He's more of a drop back pocket passer. He always has been. But man, he's good. I love Matthew Stafford. I would start Matthew Stafford and and then it'd be hard to start the Rams defense because the Cowboys offense is so good. They're in Cowboy Stadium. They always play good. Dak Prescott, I would start him. I would start Pollard. I would start CeeDee Lamb. Gallup is a sleeper. Gallup is coming on. So if you are hurting, you're 3-4 like I am in one league, and change it up. It's time to change it up. So, and now I would start the Cowboys defense. Yeah, I don't know. If they think they can get to the Rams quarterback, Rams line has been playing better lately. So it's an up in the air situation there. But always have to start the Cowboys. They always have to start them. If you have them, you got to start them. They're really, they're that good. They could change the game. And it could be a massive blowout. Who knows? The next game, we have the Vikings and the Packers we're looking at. I would definitely start Addison. You have Addison. Osborne, I would start him. Of course, I would start Kirk Cousins. He's been playing out of his mind. Madison, I start him. Akers is a sleeper. I think Akers is going to go off this game. I would start Akers. We have the Packers, Jordan Love. Oh, man, that Viking defense, the way they played against Purdy, I don't know if Love can actually handle that. I don't know. I don't think so. I wouldn't start him. Maybe Jones. Maybe it's in Green Bay, guys. It's going to be a fall day in Green Bay. It's going to be a beautiful day. In Green Bay. So, it's early 50s, fall weather. Oh, I just love this time of year. Football. Oh. So we have the Vikings. Like I said, I told you who to start, who not to start. Most likely, if anyone goes off, it would be Watson and Jones, if anyone goes off. But not too much on the backer end. Vikings, yes. Saints, Colts. Man, Powers. The Colts have been looking pretty good. Gardner Minshew, that's a surprise. But they are playing the Saints defense. But the Saints got rolled last week on defense. But they almost won. They scored 24 points. The Saints scored 24 points. Wow, that's wow. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just maybe it's gelling. It hasn't been gelling. So Alvin Kamara, I would start. Maybe Derek Carr. I wouldn't too much. Olave and Kamara, and the Saints defense. The Colts, they scored 38 points against the Cleveland defense, which is number one. So there you go. So Taylor, Moss, there's a few on the Colts. Think about it. I don't know if many people have Gardner Minshew. I think he's a sleeper this week. I think he'll do well against the Saints. They're at home. So, and then we have the Dolphins and the Patriots. Tyreek Hill is, I believe, at 90%, 80%, 90%. That's what they're saying. That he's injured. He's playing, but he's suspect. And you're playing the 2-5 Patriots and the 5-2 Dolphins. Dolphins is coming off of a loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Patriots high, coming off a win from the Buffalo Bills. So two opposite teams. But on the other hand, they are playing in Miami. It's going to be 85 degrees. I don't know if the Patriots are going to really withstand that. They made that stadium special where the opposing team is always in the sun, So the hottest part of the field will be on the opposing team's field. So they made that. It's so funny. It's so funny. I mean, they made that on purpose that way. That's wild. Anyway, I would start Tua. I would start the Cheetah. Now, if Waddle doesn't play, I would pick up Berrios. Berrios would be I think he's going to have a huge this game. Berrios, Mozart, play him, and the Patriots end. Obviously, I don't really have anything for you on that one. Sorry, don't hate me, Patriots fans. Don't hate me. We have the Jets and the Giants. I think Garrett Wilson's going to have a good game. Zach Wilson might have a good game against the Giants defense. He might. I think Zach is going to have a good game. Now, Mr. Jones is out. Daniel Jones is out. Tyrod Taylor is playing. He's been looking good. He's been really throwing it really well. And Barkley, it's going to be a good game. This is going to be a good game. It could be a scoring game, but I don't know. With the Jets defense and then the Jets offense not clicking as well, but I really think that Zach Wilson was going to have a good game here. So if you have Zach Wilson, or if he's on the waiver wire, he probably is, pick him up. He might be a sleeper. Only if you're like 2-5 or something, something. That's your record. You need to spark it up. 3-4, 4-3. Guys, you got to change something. So I think that would be a smart move. The Giants, Barkley definitely start. You have to. You have to start him. And Tyrod Taylor. That would be, and then, that's not much on the Giants. And Jets defense. If I had their defense, I'd start them. So next, we have the Jags and the Steelers. I went over to Jags. Start Trevor Lawrence. Start ETN. Start Zay Jones. Start Christian Kirk. And start Calvin Ridley. That's a question mark. That's a question mark. I can't wait till he breaks out, but he hasn't broken out yet. That's for sure. And then the Steelers defense, they're suspect. They're almost last in defense, guys. They really are. I believe it or not. I mean, you think, Steelers it's all about their defense. The defense is so great, but their defense is 20th. And the Jags is 27th. So, I mean, the passing on the Steelers, that's where it's at. They're 28th. So don't start Pickett's. Maybe Pickens, I maybe play him if I was a Steeler, if I had anything on the Steelers. But I don't know. Maybe the defense, but you're playing the Jacksonville Jags, who I know are a very, very good team. Very good team. But it's in Pittsburgh, so I just definitely, it might be a muddy game. I guess they're expecting some rain. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. So like I said, start almost everyone on the Jacksonville Jags. They're going to have a big game. It's not a huge game, but if you have that player, start him, because that player could go off. You know what I mean? So we have the Falcons and the Titans. Tannehill's not playing, so they have Will Levis, and that might be a sleeper. Picking him up. I always told everyone, if you see Will Levis, pick him up, because he has a cannon, and guess who he has? DeAndre Hopkins. Think about it, everyone. Think about it. That would be a sleeper choice. You have Derrick Henry. Start him. You always have to start Derrick. But the Falcons. They're doing really well. Kyle Pitts. Start him. I thought I would never say that. Sorry, Kyle. And then Bijan Robinson and Alshire. Ritter, maybe he's getting better. So, maybe start him. The next game we have the Eagles and Commanders. I would start Hurts, of course, Brown, their defense. I mean, you're going against the Commanders. Guys, you got it. If you have the Eagles, I just picked up the Eagles defense for this game. Man, I can't wait. I mean, the Commanders have over 100 sacks for the season. Wow. They're going to get like 6 or 7 sacks. I feel so sorry for the quarterback of the Commanders. I just feel Howell. Howell. I feel so sorry for Howell. I feel so sorry for him. Man, he must be so sore. But he's good. If he had a line, but seriously, he's good. When he can throw the ball and he has the time, he does really, really good. But when you're on your back the whole entire time, you start seeing ghosts. So Sam Howell, I maybe start McLaren on this one. I would start maybe Sam Howell. They're going to be playing from behind all game long. So, he's going to throw the rock. So if you're going to throw a rock a lot, he's going to score a lot of points in fantasy. Think about that one. And the Browns going up to Seattle. The Browns defense got smoked last week. 38 points. Indianapolis Colts, and they scored 39. Scored one better. And Deshaun Watson's still out, guys. Wow. I would start Cooper. I would start Ford if he's playing. Just check the question if he's questionable, but if he's playing, start him, and definitely start their defense. I think they'll do well. Seahawks defense is really good too. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I really do. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game. If you have, the Seahawks. I mean, the Seahawks. The Browns can't just rely on one thing with the Seahawks because they have DK Metcalf. They have Lockett, JSN, and they have a really good team. Walker to third, start him. So who knows? Browns might still be punchy, and they still might allow some scores. Who knows what it's going to be about? It's in Seattle too, guys. Remember, Seattle. 12th man. Yeah, the crowd. Anyway, I went over that. Then the Ravens with the Cardinals, the Lamar Jackson start. Edwards, pick him up, start him. Why not? Edwards did great. Zay Flowers, if you have him, start. Cardinals, it's hard to, more. Not many to start in the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's been practicing, but he's doubtful for this game. He's not going to play. So, Mark Andrews, that's a good pickup. Maybe OBJ, maybe he might have a breakout game. Everyone's telling me that he's looking better. I have my one nephew, he went to his early games. He says he looked slow, and now he's looking at him, and he's really looking at top speed. He's really going all out. So I think he's going to be a force, OBJ, near the end of this year. Man, the Ravens look good. Their defense, start their defense too. Next game, we have the Kansas City Chiefs and the Broncos. Start Mahomes, start Travis Kelce, start, I would definitely start Pacheco. Their defense is great. Start their defense. Start Taylor Swift. Got to start her because she's all that and then some. The Broncos, I don't know. Yeah, maybe Sutton, start him. Williams, start Pirine. It's Broncos. It's a hit or miss with them. Will Russell Wilson play out of his mind and get out of the pocket and make some plays? He could. That's why I would start Sutton. I'm not a big Russell Wilson fan at this moment in time. I would not start him. Like I said with the Chiefs, I told you who to start. Chiefs, Rice. If he is around, he is going to start heating up, and trust me, I would get him. Bengals and the Niners. I guess Brock Purdy's still in concussion protocol. Sam Donald's playing. I wouldn't pick up Sam. I don't know. He's only going to have a game, and he's playing the Bengals, which their defense is getting better. So then we have the 49ers defense. I'd start them. I start McCaffrey. 16 straight games. He scored a touchdown. Hello. Why not? You have to. Be stupid not to. And then the Bengals, well, look what happened. Minnesota, Kirk Cousins lit, Niners defense up. Now, they're pissed. So I don't know if they're going to be able to do this same thing to the 49ers at home. I don't think that's going to happen. So I was Jamar Chase. Why not? Have to. You have to start Joe Burrows. Have to. Joe Mixon. You have to start. You have to start the big players. You have to on each team. You do, because Ayuk is going to have a good game. I would start Christian. I would start Kittle. I would start their defense. I would, you know what I mean? So, who's a sleeper on this game? Maybe T. Higgins is a sleeper in this game. Yeah, I would. T. Higgins. Yeah, I could see him. Just have fun with this game. Have fun. If you guys have all those guys on both of the teams, start them. You have to. The Bears and the Chargers. Justin Fields is out again, so you can't start him. And Fordham, I would start him. Moore, I would start Moore. On the Chargers, Hebert, Eckler, and start their wideouts. Come on, you know who to start. I mean, if you have them, you know who you start, right? None of their defenses, I would start. It might be a high-scoring game. Who knows? The last game, Monday Night Football. The Raiders. The Lions laid down against the Ravens last week, and they're going to have one of those games. Lucky they have them in the middle of the season or near the middle of the season, right? It's okay, Lion fans. Relax. Breathe. Because this game you're going to have a really good game. Definitely start Goff. Definitely. I don't know if Montgomery's coming back yet, but if he does come back, I really want to start him yet. Nigeria, he did great. Gibbs did great last week. Start him. Of course, St. Brown, start him. Reynolds, start him. Williams might have a good game. Start him. Laputa, start him. Even start the defense. So there you go, guys. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. And I hope you guys have a great Saturday and have a fun Halloween. Happy Halloween.